Thanks very much, Jennifer, for the introduction. It's lovely to be here. I'm still new to the community, but I'm already feeling the sense of community and friendliness and amazing brain potential that is in the room. The last panel was a bit technical, so I'll try to keep it light. Try to entice you to stay here and listen about some of the sustainability or the initiatives that we have in sustainable finance. You may know, and chances are your organization is already part of the UNEP-FI network. UNEP-FI is a partnership between the UN system. Oh, like this? Better? All right. So UNEP-FI is a partnership between the UN system and more than 550 financing institutions, banks, insurers, asset managers, covering or representing over $170 trillion in assets. That's me with my fancy title. And we convene financial institutions on a voluntary basis through a number of initiatives and frameworks to which the financial institutions subscribe as members. And our most well-known framework, or one among the most well-known frameworks, is the Principles for Responsible Banking. It's the world's foremost sustainable banking network, supporting banks in embedding and mainstreaming sustainability in their decision-making, in their strategies, in their investing, lending operations. The 6 principles of responsible banking were launched in September 2019, so next week we're actually celebrating our 6th anniversary. And we have 350 or more than 350 banks members of or signatories to the PRB, covering more than half of the global banking assets. The PRB helps banks understand and navigate risks, opportunities, and impacts in specific areas that are relevant to their operations, and we provide guidance with a fancy 360-degree framework that takes you through the most relevant issues from assessment, through strategy, through action. And the priority areas that we tackle include climate, nature and biodiversity, human rights, and healthy and inclusive economies. The latter one is especially relevant to the issue of affordability and housing affordability. So in a way, the bank undertakes a journey through our framework, and the important message here is that the PRB signatories create a very unique community of institutions who believe that sustainability is actually a core element in their strategy, and it's not just a tick box that they need to show compliance with. So do these commitments matter? And instead of me bragging about my organization, I will bring in some insights from a recently published study by the MSCI Sustainability Institute and researchers, academic researchers, who posed the question, do commitments by companies to pursue sustainable practices impact the bottom line and produce any results in the real world? The brief answer is yes. The long answer is in the link that will be in the slides. And the study is based on a comparison of banks that are under MSCI's ESG rating coverage, that are signatories to the BRB, compared to those who are not signatories of the PRB. And the data shows that the banks that are signatories, they outperform the rest of the industry in terms of superior financial characteristics and responsible practices. On the slide, there are a few snapshots of the results. The banks were compared along a list of criteria. My favorite one is the graph on the left, the difference, or your right, that actually shows that PRB signatories paid 1 percentage point on average less for equity and debt capital compared to non-signatories. And this data is covering about a decade. It is adjusted for country, for market capitalization, and for primary business lines. Now, it's a study of correlation, and correlation does not necessarily mean causation, but it certainly gives room to make a good argument that sustainability is a good business case and brings value to shareholders. All of that performance of the PRP signatories, however, does not occur in a vacuum. These banks operate in an environment that possibly was enabling for them to set their targets and follow up with their commitments and activities. And so it remains critically important that the environment in which the policy environment and the regulatory environment is enabling, or at least it's not posing barriers for the institutions to set those targets and to embark on the journey to implement them. And there should be, in the best case scenario, a sort of a virtuous cycle where the enabling environment supports the bank's own commitments and the commitments of the banks push them to deliver better and more sustainable results. So in a way, we used the word ecosystem yesterday a lot, so I want to frame this picture in those words, that the commitments together with an enabling policy environment create this trusted ecosystem. Now I will brag a little bit about my organization. I want to bring to your attention actually a subset of the sustainable finance ecosystem in Europe. UNEP has its flagship regional event end of October in Brussels. I hear that the physical capacity of the venue is already fully booked, but again in the slide you will find the link to follow the event online. I say it's a subset of the ecosystem because our guests and speakers include anything from regulators, policymakers, bankers, investors, asset managers, academia, civil society. And there will be a session on energy efficiency. We're slowly transitioning to my favorite topic. There will be a session on energy efficiency finance and describing its evolution from being compliance-driven to driving real impact on the ground. Another example of an ecosystem is the European Energy Efficiency Financing Coalition, which Jenny mentioned in her introduction. So UNEP has been a member of various initiatives towards sustainable finance and toward energy efficiency finance. And as of a year and a half ago, we became partner in this EU-convened or Commission-convened coalition with the objective to support and mobilize private finance for energy efficiency. The coalition was supported by all 27 EU member states on the highest level, and it is voluntary in nature. It serves as a collaborative platform, and one of the value addeds of becoming a member of this coalition is creating closer synergies between the policymakers, the EU policymakers, the national policymakers, and the finance sector. The coalition will operate through EU expert platform, which will set up working groups, or I used to talk as in future tense because actually the first working group was kicked off yesterday, so I should be speaking now in present tense. So the coalition operates through an expert platform. They form working groups to tackle very concrete questions, and the financial institutions members of the coalition are also then take part in those working groups. The coalition also has an operational level with national hubs, so that any ideas, tools, approaches that are crafted on EU level ultimately find their ways to be implemented in the countries. Currently, the Commission has 49 financial institutions members. 1/3 of them are also PRB signatories. And until the end of September, the European Commission is calling on new members from the financial industry to join. The information is on the website. I'm around a little bit if you wanna learn more how to become a member. EMF is also a member of the coalition. And indeed, yesterday, the first working group under the coalition kicked off. It's on residential real estate, But last week, in a key event with EIB on SME finance, the coalition also announced they are forming a new working group with focus on SME finance and ESCOs. So we at UNEP-FI are finding a lot of synergies between this work and the work we do at PRB level. So we would also welcome to hear from your institutions if they find that interesting for their operations. And I think I'll stop with one of our in-house initiatives, or the bread and butter of UNEP-FI is guidances, webinars, capacity building, awareness raising. Earlier this year, we revived a workshop series on energy efficiency finance, and we will continue to do so. We put for discussion hot topics on residential real estate, commercial real estate, and SME finance. Currently, we focus on EU issues. Hopefully, in time, we will expand our regional themes. What we did at UNEP-FI is that those seminars are usually offered only to PRB members, but we extended and opened the workshops to coalition members as well, because we believe that the financial institutions that are not members of UNEP-FI, but are members of the coalition, certainly have a lot to say on those issues. We encourage cross-departmental knowledge. We always call that the audience to our webinars consists of not only of the sustainability officers and the ESG officers, but loan officers, risk officers, the legal guys, because we believe in cross-pollination and we believe that the audience is our asset. So we want to create and build on that sense of community through the audience. And someone yesterday said, had a very nice statement that the issue is not innovation, is that innovation needs to be scaled up. I'm really sorry, I had it in my notes, but I forgot to say who said it. There is a smile in the audience, but I'm not sure if it was you. So yeah, this is our approach. This is our motivation, why we embark on that, why we are keen on having people like you in our virtual rooms to set those discussions. I already had some side conversations during the last 2 days to explore opportunities, what kind of topics and what kind of speakers and case studies can feed into this capacity building series. And I look forward to future collaborations with everyone in the room. Thank you for your attention, for staying here, and stay 45 more minutes. Thank you.